Welcome back to another episode. So, I got some unfortunate news to tell you in this one. I think your retirement might be cheating on you. This is the suspicion that I've actually had, and I've had it for some time now. Not sure if you've heard the advice that most people actually hear that you'll be able to survive on your retirement, maybe just living off the interest. So, assuming that 3 or 4% is enough of a nest egg to actually live on and survive on, that'll carry you through retirement. Or so that's the way the story goes. Now, I don't know about you, but I've seen the way your financial advisor's been looking at your money, and I'm not getting the warm and fuzzies about that. The biggest thing with that is there's a lot of the same information going around over and over and over again, but proof is in the pudding. What actually happens in retirement? How are folks actually retiring? So that's the question I actually want to ask today. And it's an important question. The reason is that you are putting a plan in place. If you are planning for retirement, you're putting a plan in place to be able to retire by the time you're ready to retire, whether that's 65 or sooner or later. But whatever it is, it's a plan. And the whole idea with that plan is you are working towards it. So if you're very young in your years, if you're in your 20s, you got a long time before that happens. And if you're very close, you don't have as long. And so the big idea is the plan that you actually have in place actually working and is actually serving you. And it's something you actually want to dig into a little bit more than maybe you have in the past. Because the whole idea, and this is what I thought too, the whole idea of a magic number, I don't think the magic number really exists. The magic number is something that you can calculate and you assume that will be enough. However, in getting there, what happens when obstacles actually surface and when certain things just get in the way? And so the reason I ask this question is I want you to examine who do you actually know that is retired right now and how did they actually do it? And in my case, my grandmother was the only person I've actually seen be successful in retirement. And I had to think, what did she actually do in order to do that? Now, she's done a lot of planning. She's done all of her research, everything that she actually needed to. But the biggest piece of it is the finances. The finances, how does she actually sustain herself in retirement? And the big piece of that is a pension. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with pensions, but the pension is when the government actually provided the investment in order for you to retire. So with the pension, the government did all the heavy lifting and the work, or not the government, your employer. So your employer did all the heavy lifting as far as making sure that funds were being managed appropriately so that when you retired, you didn't have to worry about money after that point. Whatever you're making as far as your salary, a percentage of that you're going to get for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. Think about that, right? But with all of these new vehicles that they put in place, it does not add up. And I have not seen a clear example of someone who's been successful with that has not had to rely on some type of market uh, being on the up and up or being in good shape. Because if the stock market, if there's some type of economic disaster, you may actually have to push that retirement off. So the big deal, the big idea here is that everyone's playing a game, right? Let's say it's the game of figuring out how to retire. And if you've been given a set of instructions that do not work, do you want to wait and use those instructions and then retirement comes and then you're not ready, you're not prepared for it? And I would consider that a travesty. So I think retirement is cheating on you. And there's only one way that I know of to actually address that. And I like to put everything into a game. So I like to call it Escape the Monopoly on your way to Knives Out Wealth. There are two projects that actually been working on. Escape the Monopoly is one where you can actually learn a little bit more how you actually think to figure out what's the best way for you to retire. And then Knives Out Wealth actually lays out the techniques and strategies that I've actually used in order to make that a reality. So I hope you appreciate this conversation. I hope you start asking questions around it. Is your retirement cheating on you? You need to ask questions because you don't want to wait too long. All right. So appreciate you tuning in and hope you tune into the next episode. But until then.